December 3rd, St. Francis Xavier. Francis Xavier was born in the castle of Xavier in Spain. The youngest of a noble family linked to the Spanish royalty, he had ambitious dreams, and at 18 set out to study law at the University of Paris. He was good-looking, intelligent, charming, and high-born. Young Xavier had the world at his feet. Having earned his certificate, he one day met a man, conspicuous for his age among the young class, a man who had the look of a soldier, yet the air of a hermit. Like himself, he was a nobleman from northern Spain. His name, Ignatius of Loyola. Ignatius had made a profound conversion and had spent a long time in solitude and was now studying Latin in preparation for the priesthood. He was also feeling the call to found a new company of men, soldiers willing to fight for the kingdom of Christ on earth. Detecting in Xavier the seeds of greatness, Ignatius endeavored to turn Xavier's worldly ambition heavenward. Every time the two met, Ignatius commented, "What does it profit a man to gain the whole world, if in the end he loses his soul?" In the end, Xavier was among the first 7 men who vowed themselves to the service of God in the year 1534. They were the first members of the Company of Jesus, or the Jesuits. Appointed as a missionary to the East Indies in the year 1541, Francis Xavier finally arrived in Goa after a grueling sea voyage lasting 13 months. He had also been constituted by the Pope as Apostolic Nuncio to the East. At his missionary post, Francis Xavier was untiring in the pursuit of souls, ministering not only to the natives of India, but also to the Portuguese colonizers of the area, who at times had lapsed into scandalous conduct. His unquenchable zeal was also full of charitable tact, and he made people feel he was one of them. With the learned he was learned, with those in authority he was a statesman, with the simple he was simple, with the poor he was poor. His charity and charm were irresistible, and his power of miracles amazing. For the people ignorant of the faith, he fit the truths of religion to popular tunes that spread all over. He once baptized so many in a day, he could hardly lift his arms. In the year 1549, hearing of the island of Japan, which had never been introduced to Christ, he set out with a Jesuit priest, a lay brother, and 3 Japanese converts. Learning Japanese in a short time, and realizing that evangelical poverty did not have the same appeal in Japan as in India, he presented himself and his group to the authorities as representatives of Portugal. They wore fine clothes and offered costly gifts provided by the authorities of India. St. Francis Xavier planted in Japan the first seeds of Catholicism. In the year 1553, Xavier fulfilled another great dream, that of reaching China. Prevented by a fever from reaching the mainland itself, he died within sight of it on a remote island. He was only 46 years old. His body, found incorrupt despite having been laid in lime, was brought back to Malacca, where it was received with great honors. It was later translated to Goa. It is incorrupt to this day. Francis Xavier was canonized in the year 1622 with Ignatius of Loyola, Teresa of Avila, Philip Neri, and Isidore the Farmer. In the year 1927, Pope Pius XI declared St. Francis Xavier and the newly canonized St. Therese of Lisieux patron saints of all Catholic foreign missions. Some are specially called to work for souls, but there is no one who cannot help greatly to win their salvation. Holy example, earnest intercession, the offerings of our sacrifices and works on their behalf are all within reach for each of us. What is needed is the spirit which animated St. Francis Xavier, the desire to make some return to God for his bounties, with much confidence in his paternal love.